Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, and join the family. In this video guys, we're going to talk about Mr. Sean Diddy Combs being denied bail for the third time. But before we get into that guys, did you see his mom stepping into that courthouse? Man, Janice Combs looked as though she was about to faint or to pass out any minute right there and then in that clip. It looked as though she is barely holding on by a thread. And this is why when you see something, you say something. If you think your, child might be involved in something suspicious or illegal, you get them help. Find a pastor, find someone that you think they will listen to other than you to try and get through to them because listen, I don't know if that lady is going to make it through all of this. I don't know if she's going to even make it to the trial date that has been set for Sean Diddy Combs. No, let's get into that. No, as you guys know, Diddy's bail hearing was today. Definitely did not go in his favor. It did not go in his attorney's favor, irrespective of the fact that they have hammered out some points which would, under normal circumstance, grant him bail. No. What they're citing is that they're concerned about potential witness tampering, community safety, and as such, they're saying he's going to remain behind bars until the date that will be set for May 2025. So his trial is going to start in May. His defense team was pushing for that time frame. So we can say, at least something has worked out in their favor. No, let's get into some of the details. Let's get into key points. No, remember that it's Judge Arun Subramania. He's now overseeing the case. He took over from the judges, Robin Tornofsky and Andrew L. Carter. Now, Andrew L. Carter was appointed by Barack Obama, but what I'm learning is that Andrew L. Carter's wife, she is a lawyer. She represents, I believe it is Bank of America. So oftentimes he has to recuse himself from cases in order to avoid any conflict of interest, etc. Now, we know that initially they offered a $50 million bail proposal, which was denied. And as such, Combs' team has filed a motion for evidentiary hearing to investigate the alleged government misconduct in leaking case evidence to the media. So what Diddy's attorneys are arguing, they're saying that, at the time that they released that Cassie Ventura tape, it was Homeland Security who did that with CNN. However, before the tape was released, they actually reached out to Sean Diddy Combs' team to let them know that they had something that was going to go public. It was going to go to the media. So while I understand what his legal team is saying, they actually reached out to someone to let them know that, listen, we have something that's going to go public. But what Sean Diddy Combs' legal team is arguing is that this tape was given to them by Homeland Security. And they're saying that CNN took the opportunity because, at that point, the Donald Trump saga had died down and they knew that it would have been a key moment. So they used salacious means to basically release the tape. They're arguing, saying that it could not have been from Cassie Ventura because Cassie Ventura had never received a copy of the tape. But what I've heard, even though there's no evidence to substantiate this, I've heard that Cassie did get a copy of the tape when Sean Diddy Combs paid the hotel staff or the hotel security team to get the tape. I'm learning that they gave Diddy a copy as well as Cassie Ventura, but Diddy was not aware that Cassie has a copy of the tape. No, it could have been someone foresight that Diddy's legal team would have, point hands at Homeland Security and they put that information out there from the get-go to back up the prosecutor's defense. It could be because if you're observing, if we're looking at the legal analysis that is coming out from, lawyers, they're saying that, Diddy's defense is giving substantial point, which would suggest that he's not going to get a fair trial. And those statements cannot be dismissed. One of the things that they've argued is that, if they look at the tapes, everyone was a willing participant in the tapes. And Sean Diddy Combs did not do anything illegal. And his attorney is saying that if you have any other evidence, against him, they're also requesting that a copy of such evidence be turned over to them because they need to have everything point by point. So because they're claiming that Homeland Security doesn't have any evidence of Sean Diddy Combs, evidence tampering, they're talking about the time where it was alleged that he made those phone calls. His defense is saying Sean Diddy Combs did not make any phone calls. They have no evidence to prove that he made phone calls. As a matter of fact, they're saying one person reached out to him and he advised that individual that they should not be communicating. And that's the only thing. So his legal team is saying he didn't, try to convince anyone to drop the case. He didn't reach out to any of the alleged victims or anything like that. They're also saying that the moment that he learned that he would have been indicted, and that was January of this year, he turned over his travel documents. He turned over his mom and his kids' travel documents, and he advised them that he's not going to take any international flights. And if he needs to take a domestic flight, his attorneys will nudge them before doing so. So honestly, Sean Diddy Combs has been doing everything by the books, following, him being notified of the indictment in January of this year, 2024. No. So because of all of that, his legal team has now filed a motion for an evidentiary hearing to investigate the alleged government misconduct in leaking case evidence to the media. And I do believe there should be a hearing because one thing Sloan told us, and we know that Sloan predicted Sean Diddy Combs' downfall to the T. She told us something major was about to happen in Easter. Diddy is the sacrificial lamb. No, to back up what Diddy's legal team is saying, because they're saying that there's too many inconsistencies in the case. And there are, defense attorneys that are weighing in and saying that the very first argument at his first very initial bail hearing was substantiable enough for him to have been granted bail. So they're saying that the moment that his legal team gave that argument at the first bail hearing, the mere fact that he was denied bail, they believe that it is definitely something that should be cross-examined. It should be looked into to ensure that he receives a fair trial. So there are lawyers looking, we have prosecutors, we have defense attorneys looking into this case, and they are also citing irregularities in this case. Now, as it relates to, so we're just giving you guys the key points about today. As it relates to family, his mother and his kids, they attended the hearing. As I've told you, his mom looked as though he was going to pass out any minute now. The kids appear to be, optimistic. Seems as though, judging from their body language, facial expression, their spirit was a bit daunted, but you can tell that they were pushing, the best versions of themselves to the forefront. Smile, and all of that, giving a little confidence. And it takes immense strength for these kids to be, doing this. No, we know that Sean Diddy Combs' mom, she lives in Florida. She flew in from Florida. Florida has been hit by an earthquake recently, but evidently the area that she's in is okay. Now, again, the trial date, it has been set for May 5th. That's the date. The prosecutors anticipate 3 weeks to present their case. So they're saying, 3 weeks. We're hoping to get 3 weeks to present our case. And the defense, expects to need 1 week, to argue their case. Combs' attorney has filed well, we went through that. They filed a third appeal, arguing that the prior reasoning for his detention was based on speculation. So we went into that of his legal team saying, there's no evidence. It was all speculation. And it seems as though something about the baby oil is not being brought into the equation. And I want you guys to hear me out. No, we heard that there was over 1,000 bottles of over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant that was discovered at the property. Many of us believe that it is some kind of chemical substance, some kind of, illegal substance. Many rappers have also weighed into that. However, those baby oils and lubricants, they haven't been entered as any evidence. And as I've said to you, people say, oh my God, Homeland Security, they do things by the book. Really? Really? If you say that, you have no idea what is going on in this world. I have to say that. And you need to do some checks on Homeland Security and cases. No, there are some things that are above them because when they're given specific instructions, they have to carry out those instructions. No, the mere fact that the entire case will be corrupted, it means that the corruption starts from the bottom to the top. Homeland Security, the lawyers, the judge, prosecutor, everyone. So Sloan told us that he's never going to see trial. He's going to be confused. He's not going to be able to wrap his mind around it. He's just not going to understand what is going on. He's been sacrificed by his handlers, and Sloan has been right on the tee. So I believe that as time passes, we're going to even see more evidence of what Sloan has said. We've seen so much already, and I believe that there is a lot more to come. I believe we're going to see some people popping up, and we're going to be like, oh, where was he, or where was she? Oh, how did we forget him? How did we forget her? I believe we're going to have a lot of that to deal with. We're going to hear some stuff that's just going to rock us real deep. But guys, this is really all I have to say about that for this video. Sean Diddy Combs' attorney, that lady, she's one powerhouse. Miss Anna Estival. She is one, brutal attorney, and I love it. I'm definitely here for it. But the thing is, I am a bit concerned for her because knowing that she's exposing the irregularities in this case, is it that she's going to be forced to step down from this case? Will she be forced to throwing the towel? Will her life be jeopardized? I'm very concerned for Anna Estival, genuinely concerned for her, because I hope she's not jeopardized in this mess, because this is just all a mess. This is not a trial. This is a sacrifice. Do not expect everything to go in the accordance of a normal trial. We're going to see weird shit being played out publicly, and take note of them. And if they do this to Sean Diddy Combs, they can do it to anyone. Not saying that Diddy isn't guilty. We've seen, enough to know that there's a lot more behind that. So I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm just saying that irrespective of the crimes that he had committed, he is, entitled. He should be given a fair trial, not free, a fair trial. But based on our observation, we can tell that that is not going to happen. And I do really hope that Anna Estival is not caught in the crossfire of this, mess, because this is a real mess, a really messy situation. But guys, again, that's all I have to share in this video with you all. It's your time to chime in. What are your thoughts? Let's get the discussion popping. And while you're at it, thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys later. Bye guys.